Morning, everybody. It's Bob the Green Man from Chateau de Muff in Mesa, Arizona, Zone 10A. Beautiful mid-February morning. We'll talk about what size trees to buy. 1 gallon, 3 gallon, 5 gallon, 7 gallon, 15 gallon, 25 gallon. What size trees should we buy? And this is my experience. And I've bought some 7, some 15, and a couple 25 gallon trees. And they all perished. And I think I know why. I'm going to give you my experience with buying tropical fruit trees. And what is that? I would say, in my opinion, there's no reason to buy anything bigger than at most a 7 gallon tree. Now, if you want to spend your money, that's totally up to you. But in my experience, I think 7 gallon is as big as you want to go with tropical fruit trees. Deciduous trees, nectarine, fig, they sell them here in the valley in 15 gallon trees. We're not talking about those. We're talking about loquats and mangoes and star fruits. The only exception that I have in my yard is this jamun, and this was a 15 gallon tree. Now, the reason why I think that this is the exception is because this root system on this tree is extensive and deep. I do not treat this tree like my other tropicals. This gets watered once a week. And in the summer when we're extra hot, I'll water it twice a week. But it is not on the irrigation system that we have with our shallow-rooted tropical trees. So I have purchased my fair share of trees in bigger pots. Just about every tropical fruit tree we have here at Chateau de Muff came in a 3 or 5 gallon pot. Some, like this wax jumbo back here, this is a little 1 gallon. And even the monstera, that was in a 1 gallon. But everything else, 3 or 5 gallon. Why did those 3 and 5 gallon trees perform better than the couple of 15s and 25 gallon grow bags that I purchased? My personal opinion is that when you get a smaller tree, smaller gallon tree, 3 gallon, 1 gallon, 5 gallon, and even 7 gallon, but 7 gallon is pushing it, the tree will root into the ground a lot easier. What do I mean by that? Well, let's think about it. You have a 25 gallon mango. Okay? That tree has been in a pot for 5, 6, 7 years. You have a 3 gallon mango. That tree's been in a pot for 6 to 18 months. Which do you think is going to root into the ground faster? The tree that don't know no better been in the pot 6 to 12 months, or the tree that's been in the pot for 5 to 7 years. It's going to be the tree that has been in a pot for 6 to 18 months. And I actually have proof of this. I have a couple of trees that I bought in bigger pots that perished, and then I bought smaller trees, planted them virtually in the same area, did the same exact thing, same watering, same mulch, same soil, same everything, and they're thriving. So let's take a look at those trees. Here's the first one. This is an orange crushed jackfruit. I got this from Everglades Farms this winter. I planted it at the beginning of December. Okay, no issues. Couple of cold damaged leaves, but that's going to happen here in the valley with some of the more tender trees. But this tree, if we look here, beautiful new growth, no problems. Took the winter like a champ. 36 degrees, the lowest we got. We're about 2.5 hours total, I'd say. Looking good. Now, right behind it, that's a star cherry, but I had a 25-gallon black gold jackfruit that I planted 2 winters ago, November of 2024. Did fine through the winter. Started to taper off near the end of the winter. We were not any colder than we were this winter in 2025. I even covered the tree. I put a heat lamp underneath that cover to make sure that we stayed above 40 degrees, because that's what I was told jackfruits want. Tree perished. I didn't do anything differently. So I did research, and I found out that jackfruits are going to be treated more like a mango here in the valley. The next tree that we got was a 15-gallon mamey, and we actually had it planted right over here where this walnut avocado is. Great looking tree. 2 days after I planted it, lost all of its leaves. Why? I didn't plant it any other way. I didn't pull it out of the pot. I cut the bottom out, put it in the hole, cut the side out, took the pot out like that. We did not disturb the roots at all. We had transplant shock. Because the tree had been in a pot for so long, once it started growing its roots and it hit our native soil, it freaked out. So I went with a 3-gallon tree from Florida again. This is a Pace Mamey Sapote. Planted 10 minutes after I planted that jackfruit. No issues. Looking beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful looking tree. One more tree that I planted, smaller, was this Grumichama. Now I got a 30-gallon grow bag tree a couple of years ago, planted it, same thing. It did not like the native soil for whatever reason. As soon as it hit the native soil, perished. And it's not like we have bad soil here. I have really healthy soil. It's not heavy clay. It has life. It is supporting a lot. Look at these star fruits ripening up nicely. I had to show them. I kept looking over here and seeing them, so I had to show them. But it's not that the soil's bad. I just think that with the tropical fruit trees, when you get a larger size, 15 on up, it's a lot harder to keep them alive. This Grumichama was a 5-gallon, planted last spring. And look at this, it is doing wonderfully. Beautiful tree. Not all the trees that I bought that were larger perished. I do have 3 trees that were 7-gallon when I planted them, and they're doing just fine. This is not one of the trees. This is Lucy. She's all excited that I'm out here, and she's out here too. But here's one of the trees. This is a longan, and I have to wait for fruit to see what kind of longan. There wasn't a cultivar on it. It's either a BQ or a Kohala. It might even be a Sri Shampoo. I don't know. But this tree is doing absolutely amazing. We planted this last December of 24. And it is growing like a champ. We have not had any issues with it. It flowered last year, but didn't hold on to any fruit. Growing beautifully. We had a couple breakages. We had a break right here when I was pruning this palm tree. A branch came down and knocked off the top of this right there. But if you see, we've got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, and 4 new branches coming out. A little cold damage on there. Nothing to worry about. This avocado, a Marcus pumpkin, was purchased from a nursery in Florida. So exotic. And this was in their extra large burlap, but it was actually in a plastic pot. But I would say this was a 7-gallon tree. Doing wonderfully. Growing nicely. We have good new growth. Having no issues with our soil. the last tree that I got in a 7-gallon pot was this ice cream bean. This was a 7-gallon when purchased. And this tree has been nothing but amazing. I have never had an issue with it. We had a little cold damage last year, which is normal for a newly planted tree. But now that it has found its roots, so to speak, it is absolutely taken off this past year. That's the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun making it. If you do something different, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I don't think there's any right or wrong way. If I do something one way and you do it the other way and it's working for you and my way is working for me, perfect. Maybe my way may not work for somebody else. Okay, if you don't have a yard, absolutely you should still get tropical fruit trees and grow them in pots. If they can. Some trees don't like pots, but most tropical fruit trees do. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. We are coming up on Valentine's Day, so if you live in the valley, remember, this is the first time we fertilize coming out of winter. Have a wonderful day, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.